their day.
And Carbon, that next kill to make this one a 3 versus 2, and Carbon looking a bit better here than they have previously. Going around slow, and the next engagement here will be Kai's. He's not checked his corner, and the quick scope will be missed. ZYK grabs the return frag. Now into a 2 versus 2 with just under a minute 20 on the clock.
Now that's going to put all the pressure onto Brando and Rec, the two players we saw consistently having issues in the group stage, but stepping up big time in that semifinals to help their team close out. And now this is their chance to prove it from the start here in the grand finals that they have shown up ready to win it here. But two very deadly players to go up against here, Revenge and ZYK, both very, very strong fraggers on the side of Pacific Mokta. But Carbon, they've made the decision here. They're going to try and take the bomb through waters here and potentially work it over towards B. They do need to be careful though. Revenge playing very close by, just inside those A double doors on the A bomb site. But Pacific, they've made the gamble here. They've stacked themselves both over towards the A bomb site. If Carbon sneaks over to B here, this is a great opportunity to get the bomb down. And I think ZYK may have actually spotted them on the cross there from the A double doors. So he's already going to be working his way up quickly. He has a chance to catch them both. He gets the double kill on the flank. Beautiful flank there from ZYK to get it started, and I think just that information he may have got from that double doors was enough to close out this round. And again, Carbon, we've seen them in that issue before. They always need to have someone watching their back. They consistently made that mistake though in the past, and now it's a first round for Pacific.
That's the start they would have been looking for here on the global risk side. For now, Pacific taking some control in mid. Some grenades down there to force Carbon away. Lots of spam to keep them back as well. Carbon are playing a slower style here, and ZYK already has some info in towards the water. Keeping control of this area. This is the Carbon Blacklist side that we saw lose them rounds in the group stages, where they're just too slow and too passive. And when the other team is aware that they'll be doing that, as Pacific appear to be, they walk in, take map control elsewhere. That allows so much freedom. ZYK has complete control here. He's going to know if this hit is going to be towards B. That allows for the full stack. And Superman just, I didn't even see it. There's 2 kills coming in for ZDD.
Definitely an interesting start there. I'm not sure how Superman went down. I think maybe some sort of map glitch, but it's not going to matter. ZYK, he's already on the flank. Finds himself a nice frag there. 4 overall on the map already for him. Brando already left in a 1v5. Carbon facing a difficult start to this one. ZYK, though, already up to 5 frags. And this is definitely a player you want to be afraid of when he gets that early momentum in his control. But Pacific, they're going to be off to a 2-0 start here. And this is the Carbon, the passive Carbon that we didn't like seeing in the group stage. When they just go too slowly, don't take map control. And ZYK, they had info that entire time, but that hit had to go towards A, as he had the entire approach to B locked down pretty much, apart from that alley. And from there, he was able to move straight in on that flank. So for Carbon, going to need to take a little bit more map control off the start here, or else Pacific going to get way too confident and start pushing them every single round. And now Pacific, though, this is their chance to get a nice early buffer against Carbon. And on a map like Mexico, that's definitely what they need to be doing here, because Carbon, they can claw back very hard on this map, which we've seen from them numerous times. They've yet to give up this map in the past, but right now, this is definitely looking like a weaker Blacklist side to start it off for them. This would be the round, though, for them to step it up and have a chance to bring this one to an early tie. We've seen them with shaky starts before, where they have been able to recover and still win that Blacklist half, but now, more than ever, they need to start getting some clean executions, and it looks like we are going to see a potential mid push here, but as you can see, Pacific, they're already throwing even more utility to stall this one off, and Carbon, they're going to have to make their move very soon.
Carbon really don't have that much utility of their own to use to get out here. It's going to be a very difficult crossfire for them to break. They are going to commit straight in for it now, looking for the opening frags. RGXF has a chance. There's the crossfire set. Only one trade comes out. It's Kai's the only one to retrieve anything. ZYK cleans up onto Rec as well. And Brando, once again, the IGL in a massive clutch situation. Can't win it against Revenge. And this is worrying signs here for Carbon.
It definitely is. I mean, Carbon, they're having a very shaky performance. They need to do something to shift the momentum, and that's exactly what we're going to see here. Instead of just bunching up over by the A alleyway, they're going to send 3 into water to try and work in a potentially more aggressive early pick, but they're actually going to be playing it fairly safe here as well. And again, Carbon, safing is not going to be the way they want to play it at this point. In Revenge, he's going to punish them already. Kai's, he's taken down And just like that, Carbon, they're already looking to fight from behind here. They are going to go for the double peek from water, but so far they're not able to connect anything just yet. Famous, though, does finally catch Revenge there. ZYK down to 25 HP as well. And Carbon, they now have a situation where they do have a nice HP advantage here, but they do have to be careful. Famous, though, already finds another one. It's a 4-on-3. Things looking better for Carbon, and now this is their chance to recover and finally put one up on the board.
I need to work with this advantage well, though. Can't afford to throw it away by walking into a crossfire or walking into an unchecked angle. So now this is the time where Carbon actually should be playing slowly, playing together and bunching up, clearing out angles. This is where it can work, not in the early 5 versus 5s, at least as far as we've seen.
Definitely not. And now Carbon, they're going to be in a situation where they do need to commit soon. Only about a minute left here to push in, clear sight, and get this bomb down. However, Pacific, again, we see them favoring the A stacks here. They do just have a player in mid. It's going to be ZDD playing on the shadow box here, waiting to see if someone goes for that mistaken cross. He actually makes the mistake, though, of peeking just a bit too early, and Famous finds himself a third frag on the round. Potentially an ace opportunity for him here in this round, and now it is just going to be Carbon going for full control over mid, and now they should have an open B site if they do choose to cross here and go for the plant on that B bomb site. However, we do see RGXM and Aldrin still alive here, trying to play for information, but on top of that, Brando, he's going to be pushing out with the bomb right behind him here from Ali. I think they're going to go for the A pinch here, but Aldrin, he's getting too antsy. He's going to push up, finds himself in a tough situation, misses that spray, and that's an unfortunate mistake there from Aldrin, and Carbon wins the round.
And I think it is a bit of a read we're seeing from Pacific as well, where they always stack A in the late rounds. Carbon do heavily favor that site in the 4 and 3v3s. So if that's something that they're going to continue and Pacific will just keep stacking it, then I think that's an excellent little bit of analysis and a good read from them to be doing so. Revenge once again posted up, looking into this water position. And like we said in the pre-match, being able to get the kill on Revenge, get the victory over him, is going to be a huge thing here for Carbon, and they haven't done it once with their sniper. They have managed to take him down at least last round. I'm not sure if they've done it before last round, but definitely last round Famous was able to get that trade, but they really need Kais here to be stepping up, hitting the Orm shots, and that's a heck of a land angle from Revenge.
Definitely a very tight angle. If he would have been just a hair wider, he might have been able to connect on that, but he didn't want to risk going down once again here. Carbon, though, we'll see if they want to keep applying pressure onto Revenge. That seemed to be a solid tactic there in the 4th round to pick it up for themselves, but this time they're not going to go for the repeat. They know that there's probably going to be some extra support this time around on Revenge, and that's exactly what Pacific have already set up to do. They have ZYK over there, but ZYK, he's already fairly low on HP as well, so Carbon, they do have a slight HP advantage overall right now, but still, they're going back into this sort of group up and hesitate setup, and it doesn't seem to be working for them so far.
Oh dear. And this is what's gone wrong for Carbon pretty much every round. The fact that nobody is watching for this. Rek will just catch it out, fortunately, but he's still not able to get that kill. And that's the sort of thing, Carbon, that you have to be ready for. Pacific are going to do that to you. They're feeling confident. They know that you're not. And that sort of play is one that's going to be incredibly annoying for Carbon to deal with.
Definitely is. Carbon finding themselves in a tough situation once again. 3 on 5. They definitely need to find an opening quickly. Otherwise, it's looking like another potential round here for Pacific Makta to hold on to. And honestly, this is a map we expected Carbon to come out very strong on, but right now, the exact opposite is unfolded here. RGXM already finds one on to Famous. Superman down to just a sliver of HP as well. He goes down. It's all on Brando. A 1 versus 5. Just not very likely for him to make that happen.
And once again, Carbon getting caught out by the fact that they're not watching their flanks. And even though they are taking map control early here, like they did get in through water with a couple of players and take that early map control, they don't hold it. ZYK is feeling very confident in the fact that they won't do that. He's pushing and probing, finding the gaps in Carbon's default. And this is the sort of confident way that PM are going to be playing. It's going to be difficult, but Famous has found that first headshot. Now the pressure coming into that A bomb side, there was a chance for them here, but already the players on the other side of the map are starting to rotate. And RGXM is going to grab one straight to the edge of the smoke onto Kais.
Things looking better and better for Pacific this time around. They do have the HP advantage here as well. Carbon, though, they've hesitated and stalled themselves out here in the back of mid. ZYK just toying with Famous, but Famous again finding the shots for Carbon here and giving them a hope to remain alive in this round. They have to be careful, though, because there are going to be some pressure plays potentially coming in here. Revenge trying to play a little bit sneaky here in the back of mid towards quad, just waiting for the wide peak with that Alm in his hands, but Carbon, they have a nice advantage here, the 4-on-3. We'll see if they decide to take it A, though, once again, but it does seem to be their tendency here.
And once again, I think this is an excellent read from PM to be stacking 3 players over here, or 2 or 3 players over here. Majority of their forces seem to end up on A pretty much every single round, and that is where Carbon consistently likes to go. In the meantime, map control being taken by Pacific, trying to get some info, figure out where Carbon are coming from. They won't have much just yet, but it does mean that Aldrin is alone on this A bomb site. He's been a rock for his team when necessary, but instead they're going to go over to B. And all of a sudden, all the pressure here is on RGXM. The pre-fire is through. They can't quite find it, though, and Revenge is rotating in with the AWM. Very difficult situation for Carbon. They've lost the first player. Revenge now starting to step up with his second kill. Wreck and Brenner, though, grab the trade. And that leaves it all up to Pacific's sniper. Revenge needs to step up here and deliver for his team to keep this lead alive. A 1 versus 2 required, and we gifted the first. Regner looking the right way now. Brando has to do it. The Deagle's out. The reload comes in for Revenge, and Brando looks to apply the pressure, but instead gonna fall back. Has to grab this C4, and Revenge is watching the cross. The bomb is down. There's not much time. Revenge! He's gonna do it. A 1 versus 2.
Beautiful play there from Revenge and Carbon. They just were a little bit too late there. That flank from Brando just a little bit behind schedule, and unfortunately that's going to lead Pacific already halfway to a first map victory here. 5-1. Carbon struggling to say the least here on this opening map, but still Carbon, a team we've seen consistently have to fight from behind, but now this would be their chance to start that recovery here. But starting this one off, we're already going to see some early pressure in the alley. Pacific playing a little bit more forward than we're used to seeing them. However, Carbon, again, they start to turtle up here.
And this hesitation has not been good for them historically so far this tournament. When they slow down like this on their blacklist side, it doesn't always work out, or rarely works out in fact, but Superman will find the opening pick. That's a good start. We'll see how Carbon choose to adjust this one. At this point, the better move would be, now that they've got the opening pick, now slow down and move together. Now that you've got an advantage, in theory you've got a 2 versus 2, or a 4 versus 2, even a 5 versus 2, wherever you move on the map. And now they're into the 5 versus 3. Pacific have to choose either to play 1-1 mid and both sites, or go for a bit of a stack. And it looks like there will be a bit of an execute coming in. Mid being taken by Carbon here. There's 3 players in to be found, now 2. Superman grabs Revenge, Famous onto RGXM, and now it's just Aldrin. So far, 0 kills in this game. Needs to find a 1 versus 5 to get the 6th round on the board for Pacific. Finally, a better showing from Carbon.
Now Aldrin can get caught on the backside of mid there. Again, going down without a frag, but definitely a great round from Carbon, and that's actually the first frags we see from Superman on the table now as well. Until this point, he was 0-6 actually, now 2-6, and this is the Carbon we wanted to see. Superman, he's one of those people, especially on a map like Mexico, who can lead the charge just by getting a little extra aggression there in this mid presence. But again, Carbon, they turtle up at the start, but last time around they were able to get those late peaks and sort of draw out these players, and this is what they kind of need to do at this point. They've already sold that they're going to play this sort of passive-aggressive half towards mid here, but if they can use that to bait out these mid players, they may stand a chance. Ooh. But this time, it's just not going to happen. ZDD gets the peak there on the Kais, and again, Carbon going to be in a situation where they have to fight from behind.
Situation we still not have too much success in here, but they're going to go straight for that peak. Revenge will find the trade. Famous is looking for it. He does grab 1. Brando comes in with the second, and Famous again with the headshot through smokes. This guy's been getting them the whole event. And now it's a 3 versus 2. And something I need to point out here, Aldrin, we talked up how rock solid he's been so far this tournament, but he's starting off 0-4.
Definitely unfortunate for Aldrin. He was one of the key players in the group stage and even in that semifinal for Pacific. But right now, we're seeing Famous come back on Mexico like we saw him in the group stage, leading the charge for his team. Already 10 frags here, and we're just 7 rounds deep now in the 8th round, and he's looking to do even more damage here. But the rest of Carbon still needs to step up to the plate because that score is not looking as they had hoped it to at this point. Still 2-5 in favor of Pacific Magda here, but Carbon, this is their chance to recover here and close out with a 4-5 half and maybe just tie it from the start of half number 2.
certainly be the ideal scenario for them here. They don't want to be pushed to overtime or to that golden round, as they have been 2 out of the 3 times they've played this map. CYK going to give himself up, and CYK goes in and finds 2, almost the 3rd, but he makes it so doable for Aldrin. 3 versus 2 into 1v1. And Aldrin yet to get a frag so far this map. This would be his first, and what a crucial one to find it would be. Bringing them 6 and 2 if he can convert it. Rec is low. Aldrin almost full HP. Needs to be a crisp headshot coming in for this last remaining member of Carbon. But having got out through water, he's going to go over towards that B site where Aldrin is not too far away. Bomb going to be planted here, but Aldrin coming in very quickly. The cross is spotted, but Rec somehow gets out alive. Now the 1 versus 1 dancing around the boxes. Aldrin going for it. Still just needs this 1 kill. The damage there. Can't quite find the spam. Going up and over, and he will be able to grab it. His first frag in a crucial moment. And Pacific will stay dominant here. 6 rounds to 2.
Definitely a commanding first half here from Pacific. Carbon in desperate need of this final round to even make it a winnable one for themselves going into their global risk half. We've seen them fight down from behind, but 7-2 just wouldn't be enough in my eyes for them to have this first map on lockdown. Pacific, though, looking phenomenal so far. Aldrin, the only one sort of lagging behind a little bit, but that last pick alone should give him a bit of confidence here to also step up to the plate and match the rest of his team. Meanwhile, though, Carbon, their entries have really only been on Famous and Brando so far. Superman only fragging in 1 round of this entire first half so far. Kai's being a bit behind here as well. 3 and 7, normally towards the top there with Famous, so definitely the pressure affecting these two greatly here.
Certainly seems to be that way. Carbon will once again slow things down, try and find that opening pick, which has not been the most successful for them so far. The Blacklist halves will certainly need to be adjusted to be better than this as this final goes on if they want to have a decent shot at this one. Pacific looking very strong indeed. Now the push coming in here to mid. Revenge going to miss a rare shot. Famous gets the trade. CDD will go in with that first one, but Carbon continue to push here. Rec will get another one now into the 4 versus 3, but there's CDD still in the corner and going unchecked.
Definitely a crazy engage here in mid. Kai's, though, stepping up, finds himself a nice on frag, but Aldrin trades it out immediately. It's Famous and Rec alone, and the HP is not looking great for them as well. ZYK gonna slide up mid here and try and hold off this mid aggression, but Carbon, they've backed off once again. They're gonna double up into the A alleyway and see what they can do here, but Aldrin, he's gonna be holding the A alley angle as well, so Carbon, either way, they're gonna have to charge into a disadvantaged situation here. They're gonna have to just try and trade out and hope that they can isolate a couple 2v1s here. It is going to be the players fairly spread apart here, though we do see Aldrin getting a little bit closer of a position to set up for a potential trade, but Carbon, they're very hesitant on this one. Now they've separated a little bit as well.
With only 25 seconds on that clock. Carbon really don't have much time to play with here. They're going to need to make a move on it. It has to be this A alley play. Now they will be going in for this entry. Aldrin going to be the first one tested. Spots out one, but Famous finds a crucial opening headshot. The swing comes in, but ZYK somehow finds both in the 1 versus 2.
Incredible play there from ZYK, who has been the leader of the pack here for his team. And it's just truly going to show his talent there as they close out a 7-2 half. Carbon surely disappointed with their performance here in map number 1, but it's not over for them just yet. They are going to be going into the global risk half, still feeling a little bit of a chance to get this one back in it. We've seen them fight from behind, but now more than ever, they need to bring out something big. Otherwise, they are going to be going into sub-base down already 1-0 in the series.
And we said that this map would be a one that they would need to win to give themselves a very good start heading into things here, and they've not been able to grab it. So this may well be quite the difficult conversion now, but it's too early, of course, to call too much doom and gloom or to say that Pacific have a good handle on this one. It is only the first half of the first map of potentially 5, no matter how dominant, but Pacific have certainly looked hot. And look at the difference here between how they start their halves and how Carbon start them. Already Pacific, within the first 20 seconds, are looking for a challenge in the mid. Carbon did this maybe twice.
Pacific, they do decide to finally fall back here. Nice counter utility there from Carbon to try and stall out this mid take. So definitely going to set up properly here. Pacific now going to send Revenge potentially up on bridge here, or even all the way up alley to try and get a pick here over towards A. Pacific still looking for a nice early pick. to go their way, and rightfully so. That's what they've been doing throughout this entire map so far. They've been pretty successful in grabbing that early advantage, but Brando, he's going to be playing the corner peek here on the pyramid boxes for Revenge. What a shot there! Insane shot there. Flicks right onto Brando, takes him down, and again, Pacific off to an incredible start here, even in the second half.
What do you even do if you're Brando at that point? He had the angle, it was an off angle. Revenge would not have been expecting it. He had all the time in the world, Brando, to get that kill, but if Revenge is going to hit you that damn quickly, there is very little you can do. Kai's, though, going to get involved with one of his own. Aldrin and RGXM will get 2 more into the 4 versus 2 Kais. Superman need to come up big. Superman finds one, only one, and Aldrin comes through with 2. Now 8-2, just 2 rounds away from dominating Carbon. This would be the exact same way their semifinal started, albeit on a different map.
Maybe Carbon just setting up for that reverse sweep already. I guess we'll see how this one finishes out, but definitely not the first map Carbon was hoping for here. 8-2, the score now in favor of Pacific. They're 2 away from a close, and surely they should be able to make that happen. Pacific, not a team that's struggled in the past to close out maps here, so we'll see if they can make this first one go their way. Right now, though, just looking at Carbon, they are going to be setting up in mid once again. This time we are going to see Pacific, though, changing up the pace. They're going to send a couple players here into water. It's going to be Revenge and ZDD looking for that potential pick to go their way once again. Revenge did find it in the last round over on that A-bomb side. He took down Brando. This time, though, Superman going to be the one standing in his way. Revenge insanely accurate, though, when he clears these angles. Superman, though, goes for the flash peek, but the flash doesn't go off in time, and Revenge, again, finds a solid opening for Pacific here.
He was hoping that the players would turn from that flash and he'd be able to catch him out without looking away from it, but instead, Revenge goes straight through it. Aldrin's found 2. It's not looking good for the North Americans. CYK steps up. Revenge already on the hunt with the Desert Eagle. It's just Brando, the captain, left to 1 versus 5. This one's going to be all but impossible. This is like the 3rd 1 versus 5 or 4 we've seen Brando end up in. And I think this time's going to be as successful as all of the others. Very little you can do in this sort of situation. He's already getting spammed out. They know exactly where he is, and it's Revenge with a headshot. Carbon down by 7, facing map points. This is not good for them.
Already looking incredibly difficult here for Carbon, even in map number 1. We did see them win a series, though. They started off in a 10-2 loss, and so it's not impossible yet. But Carbon, they find the answer. It's a 2 trade, but 3 back from Aldrin and Pacific. They should surely be able to close it at this point. Brando and Famous both looking for a sense of redemption to try and hold on here, but Brando and Famous, they need something incredible here. Aldrin, just in these first couple rounds of the second half, he's already sitting at 8-0, and this could potentially be just in a 3-round half here. And right now, Pacific, more than ever, they just need to close this one out, but Brando and Famous, they're going to try and hold on.
And this from a player that was, what, 0-4? We talked about Aldrin started this saying it had been rough. He needed to get himself into it. He got himself into it with that 1 versus 1. And now he's just been unstoppable. Certainly has warmed into this game. And now it is just Brando and Famous left to try and clutch this one out. Famous certainly has looked the best that anyone on Carbon has so far this game. Brando hasn't been terrible, but Famous is going to go down. And now this is Brando 1v3 from map number 1. This could be 10-2, a map we said would be great for Carbon, and it's been anything but. Brando will find that first. That's the start that he needs here. The bomb, though, has been planted. He's got to try and find it over on that B side. The 1 versus 2 retake going to need to come in. Brando, he has so little time to work with here. 25 seconds already left. 15 gone just while he moves his way over. The flash going to hit him. The peak comes straight out, and Aldrin closes it. It's going to be the 10-2 on map number 1.
Here, but it looks like they are going to go with the blacklist side. Definitely the smart decision here, but they're going to try and control the momentum here. Pacific, this is their more comfortable side, but Carbon, they know if they can win a blacklist side, they're going to be having a ton of confidence going into Global Risk, which is usually fairly easy for them to take a win on. However, Pacific has not let them slide by at all. They have brought out all the stops everywhere everyone playing phenomenally in that first map, and if they keep that up, Carbon is going to be facing a difficult team throughout this entire series. But Carbon, they're already ready to strike here, and this is the Carbon we were hoping to see on map 1. They got to be a little bit fearless here if they want to try and control this game against Pacific in map number 2. They've already got 3 grouped up over towards B. They've got Kai's now scouting out towards this A-bomb side as well. But the big thing to note here is now they're able to bring out that double bomb setup, as you see Rek picking it up alongside Kai's.
Certainly can work. Famous is at his moments on that arm as well. So see how this one does go. But I think you said it there, the crucial word for Carbon in this matchup from here on out for the rest of this grand final has to be fearless. They can't be afraid. They do get the jump spot across and spot out Aldrin. Can't find that frag on him, but they do manage to isolate ZDD there. Famous, as always, with a headshot to open it. Aldrin now looking for more, but Famous now starting to fire up with 2 kills already, hunting down Revenge as well, and he's going to find it. Famous starting out strong, and it's the 4K. He's on for the ace. RGXM will deny it, but Rex there. And that round means a lot for Famous and for Carbon. That's the start they were looking for.
We weren't sure what to expect from them going into sub-base, but that is definitely the start we wanted to see. And now the confidence boost they needed after a rough map number 1. Now already halfway to matching the score they had in the first map, but they're going to have to do a lot more than that here. They need a first half confident win to get them rolling on this one. Now you see Pacific, though, they're going to be playing a bit more forward here over towards Lockers. They have both Aldrin and ZDD now. They don't want to get in a situation where they're not able to trade out, and that's Pacific already making those early adjustments to try and continually put pressure on Carbon throughout this match.
Certainly the start the North American side was looking for here, but Pacific marked a side that show great ability to rebound when they are down rounds. And after the success of that first round, Carbon, they've taken a bit of map control, but they've slowed down. Now seeing if anyone from Pacific will get antsy, will get overzealous and give them that first pick. Brando holding towards the B lockers, couple players in towards mid. But for now, Carbon, just trying to spot out anyone on Pacific, find the first kill. They need to open this up, and since they won't find it, they're going to be walking into the B lockers where 2 players lay in wait.
This is a fight there, willing to take Famous. Won it last round, but this time Aldrin comes out on top of Brando. He's quickly there to get the trade. Aldrin getting a little antsy on that secondary peak. Brando finds a second, finally goes down to the arm of Revenge, but still, Rek, he's lit up, but he gets the shot back. What a shot there from Rek to keep Carbon in good contentions here in round number 2. Supermendo runs into trouble. He's taken down from RGM, and now it's looking like a winnable round for Pacific just yet. Kai's and Rek both arms in hand, but Rek, he is very low here in this 2-on-2.
He's already shown ability to hit shots when he's low in this round. He did find the opener, the crucial opener onto Revenge there, and he's going to find another onto RGM. Now just ZYK 1v2. Both players are lit, and he is locking down the bomb site. They're choosing to attack by the looks of things. Carbon don't know it, but they are committing straight into him. Now they're both lit as well. Difficult clutch, gonna have to be the pistols. 1 kill comes out, but Kai has grabbed himself an AK, and he will close it. A much closer round than the first, but nonetheless, a win on the board for Carbon.
And right there in that round, it all came down to Aldrin getting a little bit overzealous after he got the initial pick. Had he not re-peeked there out onto Brando, the initial trade couldn't have happened, but already starting off round number 3, Famous gets the opener. Kai's has found another, and this is the Carbon we came to see here today, making work of this second map so far, looking very solid as well, but definitely Rek and Superman leading the charge here.
Certainly the case, but these are the impact players we look for. Famous won't check his corner, and RGM will be gifted a freebie. But it's still the 2 versus 4. Revenge could have had the collateral there. Can't quite land it, but does get the first. Now looking for more. Has to go to this pistol. Dancing through the smoke. Carbon, they've given him a lot of space, but he will go down to Rek on that Colt. And now it's RGM. 1 versus 3. Looking to double his kill count so far in this map. Coming in through the A control room. Checks vents. Very paranoid about this flank, but no one going to be coming that way. They're all down around this bomb site, and Rek's going to hold the angle. An excellent round from him on the AWM. And Carbon look so much better now than they did at all in Mexico.
That's just Rek stepping up to the plate, not leaving Kai's alone on that arm. Now they have the double support from it. And that just goes to show how powerful Rek can truly be when he switches and brings out that And right now, Pacific, they are still looking for a first round here. They haven't been able to find it. Revenge going to face a little bit of pressure there, but he's still able to back off successfully. But he has to reposition off of this one. Carbon, they're still looking for that opening. They've found it every round so far, but Pacific, they're definitely playing this one a bit more passive towards B, but as you can see towards A, they are a bit forward. They've got RGM here already pushed up on the A staircase with support behind as well, but Carbon, they seem eager to hit B once again.
It's worked out all right for them so far. Let's see if they can continue that here. Revenge once again, little lay in wait. Very lethal player with this AWM, and he's going to prove it opening up with the first onto Rek. That's an excellent quick shot from him. He's regarded as one of the best snipers in the world, and we can see why with every engagement he takes. I don't even know where the heck that kill came from, but Revenge has taken out Famous. Star Power versus Star Power. Famous and Rek, the two players who have been fragging the most here for Carbon, have gone down, and what is that? Revenge finds his third. Now he's looking for a 4K, maybe the ace of his own, answering back what Famous did in round number one. ZYK will deny the ace at least as Kais goes down, but at this point, Pacific, all they care about is the round. And it's one of their superstars. Revenge stepping up to give it to them. Superman finds the first, but Aldrin's there on the trade. A great round from Revenge individually and a great one from Pacific.
Still, though, only going to be 3-1. Carbon still comfortably in control, but not comfortable enough to start slipping up just yet. They need to really close out this first half with a confident win, especially considering how far against them that first map truly went. In Pacific, we've seen what they can do on this map, and they are indeed a very strong sub-base team. But right now, Carbon, they're bringing the raw, aggressive playstyle we were hoping from them, and so far, it still worked out in their favor, 3-1 on rounds. This time, though, we are going to see Carbon grouping early on for a potential fight here on the A staircase. RGM and ZYK, though, both very, very close by if this fight does come to them. Superman very hesitant in this position, but rightfully so. He's got loads of players ready to attack. But it looks like Carbon, again, going to be shifting off to try and hit this B bomb site.
Something crucial to note here about Carbon's performance, given they got 10-2'd on the first map, is I was talking to them on the bus the other day, and they were saying that they were very surprised by how in control they felt. Like, they thought that 10-2 that they got in the semis should not have gone against them, given that they felt in control and knew what they were doing the whole time. They didn't feel like they were outclassed. They just weren't winning rounds. And if that's the case here, I mean, they're certainly in a good position to rebound from that first map. If that's the case for them, they can keep their composure even while they get destroyed, like 10-2. And they can come straight back into this one firing. In the meantime, Revenge has spotted 2 on the cross, but hasn't taken a shot at either. RGM waiting for someone to peek him, and will be gifted the headshot from Superman. That's the opener needed, or that they needed, on the Pacific side.
Now Carbon, they've got to try and find a way to answer back. Revenge, though, so patient in this position, not to give up his point of view just yet. He's going to be playing safe behind that smoke, but Rek takes him down through the edge of the smoke, and that's exactly what Carbon needed to try and enter their way over towards this B bomb site. The pressure now going to go straight onto Aldrin and RGM here. Aldrin, though, finds one, takes down Famous. It's already a 3-on-4. Carbon with their backs against the wall and only 30 seconds to get this bomb down. They need to move quickly, but they have to be careful. ZYK is rotated in for support as well, and Aldrin going to just barely escape that shot, but Kais, he takes down ZDD. Rek falls to Aldrin, and Aldrin, he's going to get aggressive on the flank, finds himself another. It's down to a 1v3, and it's just not going to happen. Pacific now fighting their way for the tie as they get a second round on the board, just one away from bringing this one dead even already.
Much better looking Carbon than we've seen on the last map, but Pacific, they lose the first 3 rounds and they're immediately on point answering back. Aldrin starting to hit shots. It took him 4 or 5 rounds to get warmed up on Mexico. He's done it much earlier here. The early A take comes in. His fights are somehow won by these defenders. Both Superman and Famous go down. The trade's not there at all. The flashbang in, but still, Pacific Macta well in control of this round. The 2 opening frags given to them. They're still pushing, trying to find more control here. RGM's looking for more. Might overcommit a little bit too hard here. Going to throw a flash, try and buy himself some space, and will find that kill into Kais as well. Actually, ZYK steals it from him. But regardless, now the 2 versus 5. Make it a 2 versus 4, but Rek's left on 1 HP. Brando has to do the bulk of the work here.
Brando, he's completely separated as well. Gets lagged from the arm. And this is not looking good, but Brando gets a headshot there onto RGM, still making it slightly more winnable, but with this HP to work with, they have to be extremely careful. One shot anywhere, and they're both out of this picture very quickly. Meanwhile, though, we have Revenge on full HP and Aldrin as well. ZYK also low in this situation, but Carbon, there's one big disadvantage they have, and that's the bomb being downed here, and it is in view of ZYK in his position, so they have to be careful if they want to try and retake this bomb, because one false move on picking up that bomb, and they could just fall here in the round. But as you can see, they're actually playing patient in their positions. Brando, he finds another. This is looking more winnable now, and it's a 2v2. Still, the HP very low, and ZYK gets the jump shot and vents, takes down Rek, and it's Brando alone in a very unfortunate looking 1v2.
Doable for him, though. There's one of the whereabouts of the Pacific players. Got to find them both, though, and with just 30 seconds or thereabouts on the clock. This is going to be a difficult one for Brando. It has to be precise. It can only be headshots, and it'll be ZYK to swing out and get it done. So that will be the tie. Pacific going to bring us to that 3 rounds apiece as the scoreboard updates there. Once again, Carbon, they're still going slow here, dropping the bomb in spawn, spreading out, playing a bit of a default and hoping to find someone early, but now Pacific have had enough. They're starting to apply some aggression of their own, try and find these early picks. And if Carbon go down here, perhaps a quick round would be what is called for. Take the bomb with them and just go fast towards one of these bomb sites.
And RGM, I'm not sure if he's going to fall back here, but he did sneak into the B control room and pushed all the way up very early. That's a lot of information for Pacific to work with on this round. He's going to give up that position, but still, that information is enough for them to want to challenge here over towards A. Revenge gets the pick, and Superman, being a very tough spot there, goes down, and he's looking pretty poor performance-wise so far. He's 1 in 5, but Revenge gets another beautiful pick here, takes down Kai's, and again, Revenge controlling the pace of these early round picks, finds himself 2, and again, Carbon, they're left in a tough spot.
That said, credit for Superman where it's due. He did spray down both of those players that peaked him to a 1 hit from his teammates. If he could have gotten maybe 2 more bullets across the line, that could have been both kills going his way. Revenge just too quick, but now RGM is playing the patience game. He'll hear them coming in. He doesn't hold his fire up. He gets it the first, and Famous grabs the trade immediately as a result. Famous, another one here, starting to step up. It's a 2 versus 3. Famous and Rek, lots of work to do. Famous is just hoping he'll be getting an opportunity for another headshot here. 2 players. CDD playing a dangerous game here. If he peeks a fraction too wide, this will be over, but Famous going to throw a smoke. Still trying to spot out Aldrin. He's got a very good handle on where these players are positioning themselves, but he's still got to hit these shots. Nonetheless, though, it is him and Rek alive. Both have been the big hitters in this team so far this game. And Famous looking for the kill onto Aldrin. He's going to find that headshot. One more presents itself. Can't quite convert it against ZDD just yet. Both players so low. Very, very winnable round now for Carbon. Rek's going to hit it, but ZYK will go up for it, and Famous converts it. And he's feeling good about that one.
Definitely a beautiful performance there. Numbers down, but Carbon, they still pull it off and keep themselves on top here. 2 rounds left in the half, and now they have the potential to at least win it, if not take it 6-3. Carbon, though, still struggling to control wood here. Pacific has been winning the duels in wood, but Carbon, they've been winning in these late round situations that have definitely been a huge recovery. But as we take a quick look here, ZDD yet to get a frag here in this map. Superman on 1 as well, definitely being the lower performers on their sides respectively, but in this position, ZDD definitely needs to start making a higher impact. He's usually in a trade position, and if he can't be trading Carbon, they're going to be able to start abusing that quite quickly. And again, we see Carbon, they're going to work in here. They're going to get this early 3-man setup towards B that they've consistently gone for. This time, though, they're going to have a 4th over in the mix as well, leaving just a solo player to hold off this A push. But Carbon, they've been pretty successful over towards this B bomb site, but Aldrin definitely in a position that could catch them this time around.
Minute and 20 seconds left on the clock now for Carbon. Still in the 5 versus 5. They've avoided losing anyone early. Now slowly taking map control here. They're looking quite organized here on sub base. This is more of what we were looking for on Mexico and didn't get it, but they're stepping up now. And if they can get this win here on sub base, then series is all tied up 1 apiece heading into Ankara, which could be another great map for Carbon. If they can take this, they're well on the way to potentially 2-1. And regardless, if they can grab this win, no matter what, they will at least remove some of that pressure on themselves to perform on Ankara. They still want the win there as their Black Widow has been questionable, and that is map number 4, but Carbon starting to do the work here to take it even further. Aldrin, though, going to commit with ZDD. ZDD's actually finally stepping up. 0 kills so far. He's found 2. Superman, though, going to grab the flank. That will make it the 3 versus 3. And ZYK will get spotted out by Superman there. Flashbang through to hold him back. It's famous as well, but it's not going to do too much just yet. 3 versus 3, though. Bomb not yet down. 17 seconds. Revenge finds Famous. Superman has to win this duel, given the opportunity, and will find the headshot. Bomb goes down as well. Now it's RGM and Revenge up against Superman and Kai's. Kai's the young sniper. His first time on the big stage. Needs to step up, but he's going to get run over by RGM. Now it's Superman, and RGM's going to do it. A big win coming in from Pacific.
And just an unfortunate slip there from Carbon and Pacific. They capitalize on it quite nicely. And now things starting to look better and better for them to fight their way back in and potentially take this half away from Carbon. 4-4 as we go into our final round of the half. And now Carbon, they definitely need to anchor down and secure this half. We've seen them struggle to hold on throughout this entire matchup so far, but now this is their chance to at least build momentum to go into the second half with. And they definitely need it at this point. Going down 2-0 in the series would be a terrible way to start off this grand final. If you are a Carbon fan, you definitely should be hoping for them to pull something off here, at least in map number 2, to try and get that recovery started. But Pacific, they're going to be playing a little bit interesting on their setup here. Double forward setup here, 2 forward lockers and 2 forward towards the A staircase, and they're just going to let Revenge roam towards this wood pick as well. And Superman, again, we see him going for that early information. He's going to push up to the top of the A staircase, but a situation where he can't really afford to go in for this peek alone. But Carbon, this is going to be the first 5-man A hit we've seen from them in quite a while now. They're going to be grouping up their whole team. They're going to run into trouble, though. RGM spots Superman already on that pick, but they're going to know exactly the positions of both players now. So Carbon, if they go for this, all they have to do is pre-fire both of these angles that have now been given up to them. But Carbon, they're going to go ahead and fake it. It looks like the bomb may rotate off, but no, they're going to go ahead and call for the recommit here. And this is where it has to be all on RGM and ZYK to hold this off. They have so much going for them, shot for shot. They've been incredible players, but now more than ever, they've got to step it up, and ZYK finds the triple kill. Big opening from him. It's still going to be a 3-on-2. Kai's and Brando look to recover. Brando finds one. He gets the double kill, drop out of vents. It's all going to be on Aldrin here, 1 versus 2, trying to clean things up, but Brando may have found the opening they needed to find this half. Aldrin going to expose his position there. May actually find Brando in the process, takes down one. The 1v2 for the half, down to just Kai's and Aldrin here. This is it. The winner will take the half. The bomb has been planted, but Aldrin, he's already going to go aggressive here. Kai's, he's got to hold this off. It's do or die here. Nice flashbang comes out over the top. Kai's with the wide peak, doesn't matter. Aldrin, beautiful performance on that 1v2 retake, and somehow Carbon, they're still not able to hang on and win a half just yet.
It's a near thing, though. Kai's the young gun, the newest player, well, one of the newest players on this roster, certainly the newest to these LAN environments. Very high-pressure situation for him to be in. Aldrin, no slouch in these high-pressure clutch situations, and he did deliver here. And luckily for the young American sniper. So it will be the half going to Pacific Macta. They managed to come back and grab that 5-round lead to the 4 of Carbon. This half, though, much closer than the first half of the previous map was. Carbon already doing much better, having doubled their rounds from Mexico.
Surely won't be enough, though, just yet. Carbon still going to be in a round down situation after that half. They're going to have a phenomenal global risk half to really step it up and make this one happen. But still, honestly, surprisingly for Carbon, the weak point seems to me actually to be Superman today. He hasn't had a whole lot of success with his entering, and he's really only had a couple one-off rounds here and there throughout this entire matchup so far. And he was honestly someone coming in, I expected him to do a lot more in this matchup.
I haven't seen too much from Kai's yet either, but you can write that down to land pressure. You can write that down to whatever you want. It's a big stage for him to be performing on here, and his counterpart on the sniper rifle is certainly no slouch. Revenge proving it as he opens up with the first kill onto Rek. And he's full of confidence here, just going straight in for that pick on A. Not quite going to find it, but it's only Superman here, and he does give up that angle. Excellent re-peek, though, to nail that headshot on Revenge. That's what they needed. That brings it back into the 4 versus 4, and a big impact player does go down on Pacific.
Definitely a great start there from Superman here in the second half, but Carbon, they really need this round to get that early second half momentum on their side. They're already down by 1 in the series as well as the map now, but it's going to be Famous who keeps the momentum going. Finds one there onto Aldrin. He's not done just yet, but it's not going to matter as EYK comes in for the assist there on the double peak, and they take out Famous. Nicely done. Now making it a 3v3 Pacific. Still going to be able to try and hold on to this one. They haven't committed the bomb just yet, but it looks like they do want to take it potentially over towards this A bomb site, but they do send ZYK actually in a position where he may fall off here and go over to ZDD's position here in B. Definitely has the ability to rotate in towards this pick, but right now they do need to be careful. Carbon, they're playing all alone on this one, so one false move and there could be a huge entry point for Pacific here.
Come down to the individual firepower here from Carbon. They'll have to deliver. Superman needs this first as the vent drop comes in. Can't allow ZYK to get the better of him, and even then, needs to do more, but won't represented the angle just yet. RGM in the meantime, moving up the ramp towards the bomb side here. Entering his way in towards B, and Kai's going to miss a big shot. He won't be punished for it just yet, but indeed he will, as actually ZDD comes through on the backstab. There's Brando stepping up now. RGM pistol out, looking for this final frag, not able to find it. Sticky situation. ZYK, they're going to commit. Now Superman, 1 versus 2. Both players lit. Bomb not yet down, and he drops the player on the site. Superman almost finds that second, but HP is with him, time is with him. Just needs to not overcommit, but he will! And ZYK somehow finds a headshot that he certainly shouldn't have any business getting.
And you can see the look on Superman's face. He knows how badly he needed to win that 1v2. Both players were extremely low, and even in that 1v1, he had a huge advantage on health. And just like that, Pacific, again, stealing these rounds away from Carbon, and now just 4 rounds away from taking away yet another map in the series as well. Carbon, they still have a chance to step it up here, but the thing is, time is running thin here. They've got to have a good round, and they've still yet to find one here in the second half.
Carbon's global risk sides have not been as good as the events going on. Admittedly, we've not seen them on sub base before, so I can't be too judgmental. This is their first time touching this map at this event. Nonetheless, it's these crucial situations like that 1 versus 2, like when players are dropping in through events. It's all these sort of situations where you need to be stepping up and finding these frags. Regardless if you played the map or not, you just need to be hitting the shots that are presented to you as an individual. You've got to get your at least 1 kill for the round. And there's so many situations where that hasn't happened. Rek gonna go hunting and he'll end up hungry as Revenge drops him. It's an excellent opening here for Pacific Macta.
And Revenge right now, he's been controlling this matchup, and they need to find a way to shut him down before this series falls away from him. But right now, ZYK and Revenge, they've been controlling this map so nicely here on map number 2. We'll see if they can find a way to shut it down. Right now, though, Carbon, they're going to be easing in for a push here to try and counter it back with maybe a pick of their own. They're going to sneak Brando here up into the wood boxes to see if he can potentially find someone on the cross, but RGM sneaks out. Is Brando ready here, though? He's going to go right over the top of him. Brando not ready in that position. He's going to go down. Revenge finds himself a second frag of the round as well. And again, Carbon, they're dwindling under this pressure here. Superman and Kai's need a miracle to make this happen, but it's not looking too likely. Kai's already goes down. It's Superman in a 1v5. He does find a frag there, but the trade should come through. And just like that, Aldrin cleans it up, and Pacific are slowly but surely looking at a second map to close out in their favor.
Carbon had excellent early control of this map. They started out so strong. I think they won, what, 3 rounds, went back to 3-3, then they won another, and they've lost everything since. Famous going to start off the right way with that opening headshot, and I like this change up from Carbon. They get aggressive into the B control room, and we'll find that opening frag. Now they can fall back and play the bomb sites.
And that's exactly what they needed. They have to start off to make this happen. Rek finds himself a second, catches Revenge off guard, and it's already looking like a winnable round here for Carbon, ZYK, and RGM here for the post plant. Though ZYK, you have to be careful when he's alone. This man can pop off, but not this time around. Rek, huge round for him. Quad kill on the round, and Carbon surely going to be thanking him after that one.
And these are the sorts of players that Carbon need. They just need one player to start popping off and fire the rest of them up. We saw it yesterday on Mexico when they were down. Famous, or the day before, Famous wins a 1 versus 3, and then everyone's into it. Carbon just need this one big play, or a couple of big players to get them started, but ZYK is going to find Brando. Famous hasn't been exposed here just yet, but now isolated from his team. He's just going to commit to this position here. Light does a wreck for help, so two big impact plays. Going to go for the pick, but ZYK will overrun them both. And now it's Kais and Superman 2 versus 5. Such a difficult situation for them. Neither of these players have had the greatest of halves so far.
They definitely need to try and hang on and potentially win this round, though. A couple picks could start to tilt it back in their favor, but just seeing ZYK and Revenge together on this map just unleash all of their power. Carbon just hasn't had an answer to take them both down simultaneously. They've got occasionally a pick on one or the other, but they need to shut down both of these players quickly because they are controlling this map throughout. And as you see, they continue that forward. Revenge finds the pick on Superman, but Kais trades back, but now looking down the barrel of a potential 1v5 opportunity. 4 left. Ooh. He gets 2 on the board. It's a little bit better, but it's not enough. ZDD finishes him off, and Pacific find round number 8. Kais, you can see there, a little bit saddened that he didn't have a chance to find any more, but Carbon leaving him in a 1v5. It shouldn't have happened. That aggressive play, though, just backfired so terribly in that round.
That said, though, I'm glad that Kais is still hitting shots here. It needs to be, even in 1v5s like that, if he's getting 2 or 3 kills, there's just a bit of confidence building up for him. He needs to know that he can still be converting these AWM shots because we've seen a lot of great sniping from him in this tournament. Revenge has been better, sure, but Kais has still been no slouch, so he really needs to fire up and help his team here. Throughout the tournament, it was Famous leading the way in the kills, and that's a bit of a dangerous jump spot. He won't go down. Famous led the way in kills, and Kais was right behind. We haven't seen so much of that from Kais. It's really been Rek who's been the only one second fragging, really, for Carbon here. So anything that allows Kais to fire up is going to be very important. Famous is going to win a crucial first fight, but will get traded through a smoke, and Aldrin commits. Brando pulls out this Colt. He's a great success with it, but Revenge on point with that Desert Eagle. Brings it back into a 2 versus 3. Still not a 1 round for Pacific, but more doable.
Revenge just unstoppable here so far in this matchup, and he's a player, once he gets that confidence rolling, he's going to take the challenges, he's going to take the 1v1 aim duels, and he's going to consistently perform in those situations. Right now, Carbon, they've got to shut him down here. They still have a man advantage, but it's taken away already. ZDD takes down Kais, and Brando is very low, and he's just been spotted by Revenge here as well. Rek, he's going to be the key factor in this round now. He's all alone, and it's a 1v2. He needs this clutch for his team to stay alive here in map number 2. Otherwise, it is going to be a map point opportunity on the table for Pacific. Rek, he's going to try and sneak up here and maybe catch one on the flank, but ZDD spots him immediately. Rek, he needs to connect on this shot quickly, otherwise it's going to be over, but he finds the shot there. ZDD goes down. This 1v2 severely winnable. He's going to stick it. Revenge is nowhere nearby, but he still sneaks out just in time to make that happen. Revenge, again, being the saving grace for Pacific here, and that's going to take them on to map point.
Such a near thing, that clutch almost gotten across the line there, but Revenge flanked around faster than Rek was ready for. Did manage to flank out that diffusing player and get it across the line. So now Pacific just 1 round away of grabbing the win here in map number 2. That would be 2 wins straight, putting them at 2-0 in the series. They'd only need a win on Ankara to take this one 3-0.
Right now we see a patience duel in vents here. Rek and Revenge both holding arm angles in vents. It's just going to come down to who makes the mistake of peeking out first. Right now, though, Pacific, they're just waiting for the mistakes to come in from Carbon. They have the comfortability of 4 map point opportunities on the table before they have to risk overtime here. And right now, Superman, he goes down without a fight. This could be it for Pacific to close out the map. It's going to be up to Rek here. He has to hold it off from A-top, but Famous, he's already forced his way on the site. Finds the kill onto RGM, but ZYK and Revenge are there to shut him down. Nice shot there from Revenge, but Rek, he's still holding this position from the top of A, and now he knows Revenge is in the vents as well, but it doesn't matter. He gets the drop shot. Kais finally commits to the trade, but it may not be enough. Kais and Brando trying to fight to keep the dream alive here, but Aldrin, he's going to be taken down from Kais as well. The 2v2 retake has to come through, but there's only 25 seconds. But Kais, he spots the barrel of the gun. This could be a huge opportunity for them to sneak in. They're going to know both players are playing safe for the bomb. Brando has to force the issue immediately, though. There's only 15 seconds. ZDD going to be spotted. Kais takes him down. It's a doable 2v4. Can they take it? They take it all the way. A 2v4 clutch, and Carbon somehow stay alive to fight another day.
And Carbon break the curse. The first game, 7-2 to 10-2. This game, 5-4. That could have been 10-5. So at least they've got 2 rounds won this half. I didn't win any in the first or second half of the first map. That's an excellent 2v4, and Kais starting to fire up here. That's a great sign for the young sniper, but we're going to need more from him and all of his teammates just to get overtime here on sub-base. Overtime, a position that Carbon are very familiar with being in, but ZDD is going to find that opening frag onto Famous, and now the pressure is on. Aldrin somehow finds the snap. ZYK opens up as well. Superman gets one, but the trade is there, and now it's Superman 1 versus 4. Surely it's not doable. Surely this is about to be Pacific Matter grabbing that second map, and it is Revenge to find the final frag. And it's at this point, you've got to try and start it on your stronger side. Go for that global risk pick, but I mean, there's a reason they're in that booth and not me. Their blacklist might be something special, and it is indeed the blacklist that they will be starting on here on Ankara. Only the second time we've seen it this tournament.
Definitely a risky decision to start off on that blacklist side, but maybe they just want to show us that they have what it takes to power through, even on Pacific playing their more favorable side, I'd say, out of these two sides here. Pacific, we saw they had much more success in their semifinal match on their global risk sides, and as you can see, Revenge showing no fear. He's already slid so far up mid, and again, ZDD, he starts it off on the right foot here, but the trade comes through. Rec gets one in mid, but they still need to be cautious. Revenge playing incredibly close up here in mid, not even afraid to challenge these Carbon players. And Carbon, they're almost forced into a situation where they're already turtling up here once again, but here comes the peak from Revenge, gets the opening frag, or actually second frag on the table for his team here, and it's already looking like a difficult one here for Carbon.
Certainly is. Revenge just spotted out another as well. Can't quite hit that shot onto Rec, but will go untraded, which is the more important part at this point. He'll be able to fall back and maintain this numbers advantage for his team. And with that numbers advantage, Pacific Macro are just going to stack 2 and 2 on each bomb site, which means that Carbon have only a one-man advantage when they all get into these bomb sites together as a unit. It's going to be a difficult one for them. If each of these site defenders can go 1 for 1, just accomplishing that much, then we're looking at a 1 versus 2 for whichever remaining member of Carbon it is. The grim picture.
Right now we see two players starting to group up here towards A, and Carbon, they seem ready to collapse in, but they have to be careful. Both the ZYK and RGM are ready for this one. Superman finds the opener. It's not going to matter, though. The double kill comes back. Make it a triple kill. RGM shuts it down, and that's a beautiful way to keep this ball rolling for Pacific Macta, slowly but surely closing in on a potential 3-0 sweep. 9 rounds left to make that happen here.
And Carbon, they're going to need to show us something more than they've shown us so far this grand final. Something akin to their performance in the semis, except even cleaner if that's at all possible. Their opponents, Pacific Macta, certainly showing high class, excellent form. It's going to be very difficult. The timing is off on the peak, but Kai still can't land the shot. I think he went for a pre-fire that missed, but Revenge, as always, immediately quick on the trade, and Aldrin actually going to lose that fight. Famous opens it up, so back into the 4 versus 4 now.
Famous again being that entry fragger for his team. We've seen him do tons of work, but it can't be Famous alone for Carbon to be able to come back and win this map. He needs his entire team to step up to the plate here in map number 3 in order to make this happen for Carbon and potentially take us into a map 4. But right now, Carbon, they're already fighting from behind here in this map, and right now it is going to be a tough situation for them as they progress forward. The bomb, though, going to be working its way early on here over towards this B bomb site. We are going to see it just slowly working in here, but Carbon, they seem ready to collapse here. But Pacific, they seem as well thoroughly set up here, split evenly across the board.
Carbon slowing things down once again, as they've done throughout this event. They're determined to play this slow style, and it can work when they have the picks to go along with it. I'd still like to see them just once go incredibly fast, try and shake up the pace, throw them off, but instead it's the execution coming in to this B-bomb site. The entry frags now being hunted for Revenge, waiting in the back line. Superman not able to find ZDD, but Brando will get it done. Famous opens up ZYK. Now's the doable round for Carbon. 2 versus 4 for Revenge and RGM.
This should be their moment to close it out. Revenge and RGM would need something insane here to make this one happen. Revenge is already incredibly low on HP as well, but RGM, he's on the flank. Will Brando be ready for this position? No, Rex actually the one to spot him out first. Can't connect on the shot, and it's going to be Brando, though, who's there for the finish. Revenge now in a 1v4. It's just not going to happen. Brando with a nice clean round there, and Carbon looking better here to start this one off. And honestly, looking at this, if Carbon can't get this early start, it's going to be a tough climb back into it, but 1-1, it's a good way to get it rolling.
It certainly is a decent start for the boys in black and red there. Need to do more, but the 1 round is at least better than going down 0-2. They've had some pretty shaky halves so far. Last game they started off 3-0, then lost that half 4-5. The first half of the first map, sorry, they went down 2-7. All 3 maps in this grand final, they have started on this blacklist aggressing side. And for this map here on Ankara, something needs to be different, or else this might be a quick close to our grand final here, but can't put Carbon too far in the bin just yet. Still with 5 players alive. Pacific, though, are being proactive and trying to find this opening pick.
ZDD hoping that someone makes the mistake of pushing through mid here. But right now, Carbon, they are going to be taking their time and just hunting these players down slowly but carefully. We do see Brando up here getting a little bit antsy there in A connector, but the bomb actually going to be rotating potentially here over towards B. They do leave Kai's in that A-long potential pick position to catch some rotators, but Carbon, they seem pretty dead set on going for a late B split. It looks like they are going to send Brando out mid as well, but Aldrin already shuts things down, gets the double kill. A devastating way to kick off this round, but he's not done just yet. He has a couple more players in his way here. Rec going to be stuck on the corner, but RGM's already found a kill as well. Brando, though, sneaks into mid, finds the double kill. Potential still for this round to go Carbon's way, but they need to be cautious because Revenge, he's rotated in to watch the underpass push out. But Rec, he catches one off guard. This is now down to a 2-on-2 and a very winnable situation thanks to Rec and Brando here, but it's not over just yet. Aldrin goes for the wide peak. Brando goes down, but Rec, he gets the trade. Can he do this for his team? It's down to a 1v1 RGM versus Rec for what could be a big round for Carbon.
This is not the first time we've seen Rec in this situation. A clutch that he needs to land. It's not as vital as when the scores are 7-8 or whatever they were the last time, but regardless, he will go back and get that bomb. Just 17 seconds remaining. He needs to work towards a bomb site, and he has actually picked the correct one. His opponent on the other side of the map, but already RGM is considering it, looking for the rotate over to the A bomb site, but it's not quite going to be fast enough. The bomb will go down for Rec here, just in time before the round timer runs out. And now Rec can try and clutch this one out for Carbon. This would be a massive round for them to convert. And RGM makes the mistake. He spotted out. Doesn't get tagged down by that much. The grenade not going to do enough either. But time is not with Rec here. He needs to try and stay alive here, or else just go for this face. And he will get the spray out. Rec lands the 1v1.
And that was a great play there from Rec and Brando to win back what seemed like an unwinnable round for themselves, but this is the Carbon we were hoping to see. Their backs against the wall, and the clutches are now starting to come through. Kais, though, still needs to step up to the plate here. Hasn't yet to hit one of these shots in the early mid-hold, but we'll see if he can find his way into a couple here as we move forward. But a big thing to keep your eyes on, ZYK as well, completely silent so far in this matchup, which is quite interesting to see.
It is indeed, and for the extent of this grand final so far, it's not really been Kais with the arm. He was starting to hit a few shots towards the end of sub-base there, but a large part of it has really been Rec on the sniper rifle that's been doing a lot of work here for Carbon. So Kais certainly needs to step up to the plate here if he can. A lot of pressure on his shoulders, and Revenge is already sneaking around looking for early picks. Hope he presented one. Still going to contest this angle. He's putting an awful lot of pressure on Carbon, not that they yet know it.
We are going to see them going for a little bit of a sneak play here over towards B, and rightfully being cautious here. They did run into Aldrin on this angle earlier, but this time Pacific, they're going to be playing pretty passive on their side setups, just a standard 2-1-2 here. Aldrin, though, still going to be posted towards this B bomb side position. This time he's just going to be playing over by the triple boxes here, waiting for someone to make the mistake of peeking him wide out of B long. But right now, things just looking pretty slow moving for Carbon as well. They want to try and sort of filter out through this map, clear everything as they go, and try and find a way into an early pick. But Pacific, they are set up to put even more pressure onto Carbon here, not giving them any information to work with early on.
Now with under a minute left on the clock, Carbon going to need to make their move here, but Kais finally opens up onto Revenge. That's a crucial opening duel for the young sniper. And he's going to go straight onto the push now with that Colt. ZDD, though, opens up onto Brando. Still defenders waiting on this bomb site. Aldrin lies in wait. Goes for that peek, not going to find the grenade there. The support is here from ZDD as well, trying to lock Carbon out of this bomb site. They haven't yet pushed. They have committed to this side of the map, but they can't quite make it up. Now going to run up this ramp and look for these engagements. They peek together. Aldrin finds one, but needs to do more, and Famous is there on the trade. In swings ZYK, though. Now a very close situation indeed. The bomb can go down with just 10 seconds here, but it's down to the last player of RGM coming up from the long flank, and he's been spotted. The double peek is there. Sprays down one. Now RGM looking for the crucial 1 versus 2, and he's going to do it as well. And you can see how upsetting that is for Carbon, a massive one that they get stolen from them.
An unfortunate round. All they needed to do there was watch their flank, and again, they're punished for not doing so. And it's going to tie us up once again. Carbon looking for an early lead here, but they haven't been able to find it just yet. Their biggest lead just being 2-1 so far, but Rec gets the opening actually. Aldrin already taken out very early on, and Carbon, they're still trying to get these picks to go their way early, and so far, they're slowly starting to gain that early round momentum that they've been looking for throughout this entire matchup, but they're going to have to do more than that. Pacific, they've been getting better and better on these post-plant situations, but we can't forget Pacific, they had a very weak Blacklist side, so if Carbon can have at least a close or even a win in this half, they should be feeling a bit comfortable going into that second half.
It should be, but it's going to be close. CDD will be caught out, but still manages to find one before going down. Great conversion from him to keep it semi-competitive. It's still a man disadvantage position for his team, but doesn't go down for free. In the meantime, the sniper's now going to come into play. Revenge starting to aggress and look for a pick over here. It's been in this position a few times now. Carbon going to need to punish him if they want to continue on into this round, but Revenge not really having the greatest of games so far either, just 2 and 3 in the 5th round. Carbon, though, with that man advantage, the onus is on them to make the play to win this round.
Now they're just going to let the clock run down for a minute here. They're hoping that someone peeks them in this position, but it's actually going to be Pacific doing exactly what they need to, just safely collapsing around their position, but not going for any engages just yet. Now Carbon, they know they're going to have to make their move, but keep in mind Brando still is on this lurk position and could potentially catch RGM on a late flank, but Brando, he has to be careful as well. If he's not continuously cautious, it could be trouble, but Revenge finds one on the underpass cross, gets the double kill. Revenge again holding it down for Pacific Macta here, and it's going to be Rec all alone as RGM finds himself a frag. Unfortunately for Revenge, though, not going to be able to close it out just yet. Rec, can he come up big for Carbon here? It's down to the 1v2. He's already getting collapsed on as well, but he has to get this bomb down. Only 20 seconds to get it down fully and be safe here, but it's just not going to happen. ZYK, the wide peak, takes him down, and again, Pacific turning these rounds back in their favor.
I love that even across the entire length of the stage, Pacific are still getting up, getting loud, and trying to get in their opponent's face. It's difficult when they're so far apart, but it's giving them a lot of confidence. They now take the lead here on their global risk side. Kai's going to find that first pick. Superman with a second. Finally, this is the fast play that we've been looking for from Carbon. They're helped out by Pacific trying to get aggressive in their own map control, but still winds up with the attacking side getting 2 kills for themselves and leaving a lot of work to be done by Pacific Macta in this one.
Aldrin, though, still in a key position. He actually went for that initial push with his other 2 teammates that had fallen, but he stayed here and waited in a passive angle for Carbon to potentially go for the late play towards A. So Aldrin, we'll see if he can hold things down here. He has the support, and his entire team has actually rotated in to play around him as well. I like this positioning here from Pacific. They've got Revenge posted in mid in case of a rotation as well. So Pacific, again, just zoning these players into a box and then trying to take the fight. Almost a shot there in mid, but unfortunately not going to quite connect there onto Revenge, but he's going to actually force a full rotation. He's going to be all the way back on this B bomb site, so now this A hold has to be on point here. It's really going to be on ZDD to slow things down here, and he does not have the HP to make it happen, but he still gets the double kill, finally gets traded out, but that could be enough of a stall for Pacific to rotate in here. Revenge already working his way through A connector potentially, but no, he's actually going to go for the full rotation as Aldrin still has yet to move from this A connector position. So far, Carbon, they have exactly what they need to lock this down, but they still have to be incredibly careful. Revenge and Aldrin, 2 deadly players, especially when it comes to these late round situations. They're going to go ahead and rotate. They thought it was B for a split second, but Aldrin, he knows he's going to be mistaken now. Revenge already scouting out for a potential pick here. Rec low, famous on half HP, and here comes the rotation through from Aldrin as well, but he definitely wants to be careful here. Kai is going to be just outside the vents, waiting to see what happens here. The bomb, though, already ticked down. 18 seconds. He has to move now. Revenge, he's got to find an opening quick here. Aldrin forces his way in, but it's just not going to happen. Kai's and Rec clean this one up, and Carbon, they're able to hold on, but still these rounds are close, neck-and-neck rounds that Carbon can't afford to be making this close in these situations.
As long as they get the win, that's all that matters at this point. There's no punishment for losing 4 players in a round. You can still get all of your guns, everything back in the next round. So for Carbon, at least for this map, I feel like as long as they get the win, it's going to be okay. But moving further into this series, they're going to need to be a lot cleaner if they can even get the victory here on Ankara. Moving into the last 2 maps, potentially they're going to need to be a lot cleaner than just winning scrappy 2v2s and 2v3s if they want to make it all the way.
We do see Superman trying to get some vision here over towards B long early, but he's actually going to back off and group up with his teammates here over towards A, which looks to be where Carbon want to test their luck once again. They were successful in the last round, so it would not surprise me at all if they went in for an execution here once again. This time it is going to be ZYK and RGM on the initial, but right now Carbon, I like this play. They're going to be rotating out for information. They send both Brando and Famous in there to A connector to go through,
Contact
scout
play.
out mid. They're going to be playing for that contact play in mid, but right now there's actually no one directly on the mid hold. They've just got a passive hold on mid here all the way over from the B side. So Carbon, they see that it's clear. They see that the rotation is going to be a tad slower, and that's a good signal for them to attempt to go in for this A take.
Big fan of contact players here from Carbon. Slow, try and walk out, find yourselves a headshot or two, but haven't found anything just yet, so they will be gearing up, as you say, for this A, execute the nades, start to rain in, the push coming. First 2 frags, they'll go the way of ZYK. RGM will go down for free, and ZYK caught in the reload. ZDD saves him. It's a 4 versus 2. Kais finally gets involved, but ZDD is on the hunt, swinging out, trying to find this opening frag, and he'll grab it too. It's all up to Kais. Swaps the AWM out for an AK-47, trying to do what he can, but he's been spotted. And in the 3v1, they're going to jump on him. They will get it done as well. That's a clean round in the hold on the site from Pacific Makta.
Definitely a great round from Pacific, and again you see Carbon, the rounds get close, but this time Pacific walk away with a win, and now they are back on top here as well, 4-3. We definitely expected them to win this half. Carbon still keeping it close, but it may not be enough at this point because Pacific, they see the light at the end of the tunnel here, and they are just 6 rounds away from being your champions here at CFGI, and they are slowly closing in on making it a reality here. Superman, though, does get the opening pick, takes down ZDD. A nice way to get things started for Carbon, potentially looking for the tie, but Revenge already there to answer back. Beautiful pick coming out from him, and it's already down to a 4-on-4.
Revenge is just not missing much at all in these grand finals. I've seen him miss maybe 2 or 3 shots so far in 3 maps, which is about what we expect from him. He's an incredibly accurate sniper. One of the best, if not the best, in the entire world at this point.
We do see a rotation coming through from Carbon as well. They're going to go ahead and fall off that A-long control play. It looks like they're going to try their luck over towards B this time around. It's been pretty unfortunate on most of their B takes. They've had a little bit of success, though, but getting through Revenge and Aldrin is just such a difficult task that there's not a likelihood of success here. Even when you have the numbers, Revenge and Aldrin, they're just great at locking down executions and making sure nobody can get through. So Revenge, he's going to have that first line of sight here. This time, though, it looks like they want to send Kais in front to try and challenge that initial pick from Revenge. But Kais, he's definitely struggled in this meetup, to say the least here, but Revenge, such a deadly player to be going up against in a one-on-one.
Very difficult prospect for young Kais to try and win that sniper duel, but certainly something that he's capable of doing. We've seen it before so far this tournament in CFGI 2018. For now, though, they will be slowing down, not peeking into Revenge just yet. And they do go for that. It's crucial that Kais makes that work, but with under 30 seconds left, Carbon, then he's going to move on here, and it will be over towards B, where Revenge will be waiting for the test. The peek comes through. He hits one onto Brando, peeks up, but Kais gets the trade. That's the crucial kill. And now into a 3 versus 3 with just 13 seconds remaining. They need to get this plant down, and Aldrin and RGM already here on this bomb site and waiting, trying to waste the time. There isn't much time. The plant is being attempted and being covered. They will just get it down, and the kills do come through, but into the 2 versus 2 now. ZYK grabs one, pushing up the ramp as well. His teammate will come in from the other side. So it's a crossfire here, and there's the first kill coming in for ZYK. He's going to get both as well. That's another round going to Pacific Makta now. And every single time they get one of these wins on the board, surely they can taste it getting closer.
And unfortunately for Carbon, that's the second time on their beat take where they've lost just to a single flanking player, and they've got to be more cautious once they get that bomb down of that immediate flank if they truly want to bring this back. But it's only one round that they have left to even win in this first half. But Revenge, he's going to shut it down early, finds one onto Superman. Kais, though, again there for the trade, keeps it even in a 4-on-4. But Carbon, this is a round that they desperately need. They don't want to be going into a second half 6-3 down already after facing 2 map losses. this is really looking like a very winnable situation. The potential 3-0 sweep so high right now.
And Pacific at this point, it is theirs to lose, and lose they have not been doing so far here. We've played almost 2.5 maps. After this round, we will have played that, and so far, they've let 11 rounds slip over 3 maps. Carbon currently have lost 25.
An incredible disparity there in the score, but it just goes to show you that Pacific has really stepped it up here, even in the grand finals, making improvements in each individual on this roster. You can tell just by looking at their current frags, they're all playing incredibly well. Even Aldrin, who was one of their key players in the group stage, he's still keeping up here, but he doesn't even have to be that key player anymore. Everyone is playing so well right now on Pacific that all they have to do is continue playing as a solid unit, and Carbon has no answer to take these rounds away from them. They've already secured the half here, but it's going to have to be a potential for even more, because Pacific, this is still a round that they could take away. 4v4, the bomb actually going to be in mid here, potentially Carbon going to try and split out of mid, but it still looks like they're favoring that late A.
And there is 2 players still locking down this bomb site. And the 2 versus 2, Pacific just playing the waiting game here. ZDD once again jump spotting at the window there, not going to find too much. The flashbang through, no peek off it though, good discipline. No need to try and peek into what potentially could be all 4 players, but Rek hunting for the opening frag to make this round doable. He's going to miss the shot. RGM will get that. Rek gets one with the pistol, but surely will be overrun here. CYK will close him out, and Brando's there for the trade. Now into the 2 versus 2, Famous and Brando against RGM and Aldrin. 9 seconds left. Not much time. This bomb plant has to go down. Aldrin will get it, and Famous, I think, can just about get this bomb down. Indeed, he will. And now it's him versus RGM. Famous, the veteran, needs to step up with a big round here. He's been good, but can he be this good? The timing going to be everything on this peak. RGM slowly working his way in, hasn't yet found where Famous is playing from, but it's the instant headshot. Famous lands it, and it's a crucial clutch for him.
Definitely a great clutch there from Famous, but the question now remains, will it be enough for them to take the second half into a victory and potentially keep the dream alive here and take it on to another map? Still, they're going to be down 5-4 at the half here, not the half that they were hoping for. However, we have seen the past struggles of Pacific on this blacklist side of Ankara, so the potential still remains for Carbon to take this map number 3 and push this series even further, but they still have to find a way to try and cancel out Revenge. He has been unstoppable in this matchup so far, and that continued confidence from him could be the deterrent that Pacific needs to close out this game.
Could indeed be. Still going to be a very difficult one for Carbon to recover. They do get 4 rounds off on their blacklist side, equaling their performance of the last map, but now they've got to outlast the incoming Torrent, and Rex onto the shotgun this time. It's been Brando the last few maps. For the first time, it's Rek. Only the 3rd time we've seen an XM in this tournament. All 3 of them coming from members of Carbon. Just looking for that change up, looking for something different. They've got a double stack there on the other side of the doors, hoping that Pacific will gift them a couple kills.
An interesting decision, but to be fair, it's only really worked a couple times from Carbon. It's definitely just sort of a one-off play you've got to try and make here and there to get that opening pick to go your way. But this only really works if Pacific decides to run into this B stack. But right now, it doesn't seem to be the case here. Pacific putting the majority of their numbers towards mid and A, but Carbon, they do risk something by having 2 forward B players. They don't have a whole lot of control over these 2 mid players, potential push into them, and that could give them control of the global risk spawn. And then from there, Pacific can just take this bomb wherever they'd like, and it looks like that's exactly what might happen here. Pacific is starting to notice there may be an opening over towards this A bomb site in Carbon. This gamble could potentially backfire.
Especially if it comes to a retake situation. Rex is going to have to hope that there's an AK somewhere he can grab, because shotgun's not going to be too great for him on that retake, but here comes the execute. All grenades pouring into the bomb site. It's just Superman to try and delay here. The rotation actually has come in. Rek, though, with that shotgun, going to go down. Revenge steps up with a giant double. And here comes Aldrin looking to do damage, but Superman dances back with a quick 2 of his own. Still a disadvantaged situation as the nade touches down on him. But it's Kais and Brando as the bomb hits the floor. They have to convert a 2 versus 3 against Pacific here. And they're already hunting for this retake, coming out onto the bomb site now, but it's a passive setup, and ZDD gets one. Brando can't do anything. And Pacific Macta, they stay strong again. It's Revenge again opening it up.
Revenge has just been unstoppable, and he continues to reign supreme in this matchup so far. 6-4 Pacific, just 4 rounds away from taking the victory here in the grand finals. And Carbon, they have to find their answers quickly. Otherwise, this grand finals could just slip into a 3-0 victory for Pacific Macta, but rightfully so. They've been playing out of their minds here in the grand finals, and honestly throughout this entire tournament as a whole. But CDD, he's going to go for the pick. Kais, though, misses that initial shot. He's going to have to fall back here. Right now, though, we do see a potential push here coming late onto B from Pacific, but they have a decent amount of map control to work with. Aldrin, he's already pushed up here in mid, potentially looking for that one-on-one peak challenge from a connector, but Famous, he's going to make the smart decision to fall back here. Doesn't want to get caught out B long all by himself.
No one on Carbon wants to be that player who dies first here. No one wants that sort of pressure on them. The Pacific at this point, with 1.5 minutes remaining, are getting ready to move up and head into one of these bomb sites. It looks like it will be the A bomb site again. This time, 2 players here. Their hold needs to be better than the last round, though. The retakes have not been working out too well for Carbon thus far. Really just the post-plant situations on either side haven't been working out for them too well in general, so it's going to need to be good here, but the execute's going to come out, and in go Pacific into this bomb site. The 1-for-1 comes out immediately, but Brando needs to do more, and he can't quite convert this frag. The pistol will come out, though, and he keeps it at 3 versus 3.
And now it's all about the retake here. It is going to be Kai's already rotating in from the GR spawn wall. The rest of his team going to meet up here with him as well. But Pacific, they're playing back off of this bomb. They're going to try and fight their way back in, but Rex already found one. Could they hold on here? Carbon looking for the round. Kai's finds another, but it's all on Revenge. Can he be the hero of his team once again? Not this time, though. Famous shuts it down, and Carbon, they decide to claw back into this one, but they are still 1 away from a tie. You can see the hype there, though, from Kai's, but it's not even close just yet for them. They've still got to win this map and another 2 to take this one away.
A long road ahead for Carbon, but at least they're starting off the same way, or the right way. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step, and Carbon are looking to make their first steps now on the way to this 0-2 to 3-2 reverse sweep that they'll need. Pacific still have the lead here on the map, and definitely the lead in the series, but Carbon are keeping it competitive, and Revenge somehow still gonna find the frag. This man can't miss.
Just incredible play there, Revenge. I'm not sure how he even connected that shot onto Famous, and now Famous, he's going to be down and out for this one. Carbon losing one of their key players, and Revenge, he's going to continue to force the issue, just forcing his way up mid, leading the charge here with his team. They're going to try and just go mid to B off of this one. Rek going to run into some trouble, but he still manages to get that frag, but he's immediately traded out here. Aldrin gets the double kill. This could be all they need to take a 7th round now. Superman and Brando looking for some sort of redemption here, but Aldrin, he gets a 3rd kill. He's not done just yet, but Superman finally trades it out, but it could be too late at this point. A 1v3, but he finds himself a 2nd, now down to a 1v2. Could he do this? The 4 kill and the clutch, looking for a great opportunity for Carbon to tie it, but still ZDD and RGM stand in his way, and they're both very close to his position. ZDD finishes it off, though, and just like that, this could be the beginning of the end here for Carbon.
And you can see in the reactions of Pacific Macta, they can feel this one getting closer and closer. They know how little more they need to do to get this one across the line to 3-0. They need as many rounds as maps at this point. 3 rounds for 3 maps. And Carbon, they're going to start off the right way with Superman taking down ZYK. It's a big impact fragger down for Pacific. But there's still so much more for the North Americans to do here.
Famous finds one there as well, so this round looking better and better for Carbon to be able to close it out and take another round on the board, but still they have to be cautious. Revenge still being alive should make everybody on the roster of Carbon still incredibly nervous in this situation, because Revenge has been picking them apart even in these number down situations. And right now Carbon, they've made the mistake of gambling on a stack as well, and this stack is going to be the exact opposite of where this bomb is heading, right onto the A bomb site. So Carbon, this is going to be a gamble and a huge risk for them that may actually result in Pacific being able to pick up yet another round. They're They're going to have to play full retake here in a 5-on-3 in Pacific. They're realizing now that this site is wide open for the taking here. Carbon, this is a very risky decision, but you can see the rotations already starting here. These two players in the GR spawn, they're working their way in quickly. We're going to see potentially a 5-man stack, though, but RGM, we've seen him hold these close quarters angles. He's going to have a chance to mow down every single player on the Carbon roster. This is a huge gamble from Carbon, sending every single player into a potential funnel of death here. Here comes the hit. Revenge gets the collateral, though. Aldrin finds one, but it's still going to be Carbon coming out on top in a 2-on-1 there. What an attempt there, though. Almost a potential devastating situation in that funnel in.
An incredibly risky decision from Carbon as well. I mean, in case you're just like very bamboozled as to why they would do that, the idea of the 5-player stack there is either Pacific hit the bomb site that they're 5 stacked on, they have the easiest hold of their lives, or they go for the 5-man retake. They know just how good Pacific have been at picking them apart, especially Revenge, and they choose, nah, we're not going to go with that. We're going to get the full retake across the board. It did eventually work out for them. Rek, though, going to push and find the first 2 kills. That might be the start that Carbon are looking for here. The pistol comes out for Kais. And ZYK pulls out his own Colt and will end him. Back into the 3-on-3, and Famous missing an opportunity. That's a big spray down to miss. And despite some very low health on the side of Pacific Max, they still stand with a man advantage, and they're around the lead.
The bomb will get down now. Carbon desperately wanting to hold on to this one, but Pacific doing a great job potentially to take this one away from them. Superman and Brando have the health to work with, but ZDD, he's up here in the tower, finds one. It's now down to a 1-on-3. It's not going to happen. ZYK shuts it down, and it's just 1 round away from match point.
Map point, grand finals point, $50,000 point for Pacific Mactor. If they can just take 1 more round on their blacklist side here, they are 1 away. 5 frags from that $50,000 prize and being able to claim themselves as the winners of the Crossfire Global Invitational 2018 here in Shanghai, China. Carbon, we've talked about their reverse sweeps throughout the group stage, throughout the semis. If there's ever a time to dig deep and pull through for these North Americans, it's now. They can't afford to give up match point here, have to play for overtime. They need to start their comeback earlier. They need to bring it back right here, right now. Rek on the Orm has been decent for them so far, but it's going to need to be something very special.
And here we have it, Pacific ready to collapse in on this B bomb site position. Rek, he's already been spotted here. Here comes the push, though. It's going to be Carbon trying to hold on for dear life, but Kais misses the double opening shots. This could be it here. RGM finds one. ZDD gets another Famous. He's able to trade, but it's not going to be enough just yet. Kais, Famous, and Superman trying to hold on here, but the rotations are already coming through. They have to be cautious here. Famous, though, he gets one. Superman finds another. It's down to a 3-on-2. Revenge and Aldrin, the last hope to hold on here and take this on to match point, but Revenge, he's already found one onto Superman. Kais, he's going to get caught as well. It's all on Famous in the 1v2. It's not going to happen. Aldrin finds the way to match point, and this could be it.
This could be the final round. And at this point, you can see the pressure really starting to mount for Carbon here. Kai's missing some crucial openers. You got to hit at least one of those in that situation. As hard as they are, your team is depending on you when you hold that cross. They're difficult shots to hit, but your role is to do it. And Kai's, the pressure of this big stage really getting to him now. It could be all over here in just 5 more kills for Pacific Mactor. They brought it all this way. They were the best team in the group stage. They made it through the semis, and now they're looking by far the best team in the grand finals.
And this is what it all comes down to. Pacific, this would be their first ever championship under their belt. So many times this team has fallen in a semifinals. Now in their first grand finals appearance, this could be the start of the end. Famous misses a crucial pick as well. Revenge gets out with 11 HP, and that is a devastating mistake there. Famous not being able to connect that frag leaves Revenge in a position where he can still make an impact on this round. The bomb already going to be forcing its way over towards ZYK, taking a ton of damage. Carbon in a position where they could still take this one away from them, but the bomb has yet to commit. They're going to be falling back here. In Pacific, they seem a bit unsure of themselves now.
Certainly do, but still in a situation where they can make this play. It's actually pretty lucky for both players there, both that Revenge missed, and then was able to survive. It's rare occurrences for both Revenge and Famous, but now what could be the final bomb site take coming in? The A site is the source of the hit, or the target of the hit, I should say. The grenades raining over, and RGM on the entry can't find it, but ZYK grabs that trade. Revenge now getting involved. Aldrin 2, it's a 2 versus 4 for the championship. It has to be Rek, it has to be Kai's. They've both been sniping so far this map. Now they've got the AK onto Rek, but they need to do it here. It's now or never, and Revenge has found the flank, misses the shot, misses both, but he gets the info across to his team. They're still not looking at him. That's it. Pacific Mactor have done it at 10-6 and the 3-0 in the grand final.
An incredible performance. Pacific Macta 3-0 sweep the grand finals over Carbon. An impressive performance to say the least here. And right, they will be the CFGI champions, taking home $50,000 as that first place prize. And for the first time, they will be able to lift that trophy. A well-earned one to say the least here.
Exactly that. We thought it was going to be a potential 5-mapper. We were thinking Pacific had better off it, but we saw a definite couple of maps that Carbon had a great chance on, but it's not been